What's popping, y'all? I was not gonna make this update today. I wasn't planning on making this type of news, but we've just received a lot of breaking news. Basically, there have been a massive strike at the Jabalia Refugee Camp in Gaza. And as I've been ongoing reporting the whole conflict in it between Israel, Hamas, and the Palestinian people, this is definitely a very starting new development that I really want to cover today, and just really, highlight, the gravity of this situation.
Explosion at a refugee camp in Gaza. The Hamas-run Gaza Interior Ministry saying it was at the Jabalia camp, one of the most populous parts of the Gaza Strip. And we must warn you, the images are pretty difficult to watch. The ministry now claiming Israeli aircraft dropped 6 bombs on the residential area. The IDF says that they are looking into the details right now. ABC.
Like, that is the deep crater. Like, that is no joke. Like, and I know definitely when it comes to like the hospital, attack that happened a few weeks ago, not a few weeks, about a week or two ago. Basically, a lot of people were kind of skeptical about who was it, there was no crater, whatever. But yeah, this is irrefutable proof. Like, yeah, this wasn't like a Hamas bottle rocket. This was literally like an actual crater, like from an airstrike.
Inez de la Cuetera is tracking it all from Jerusalem. So Inez, what exactly do we know about this blast?
Hey, Kira. Yeah, some horrifying breaking news there. So we know that the Jabalia Refugee Camp was struck. This is the largest refugee camp in Gaza and one of the most densely populated areas. We're seeing images starting to emerge. They're showing the entire neighborhood flattened, an area that appeared to have other multi-story buildings around it, completely reduced to rubble. Patients, wounded, bodies being taken, rushed to the hospital, dug out through the rubble, were injured. Unclear what the casualty number is yet. We're still waiting for more information on that. Like you say, the IDF is not commenting. We have asked for comment, and at this point, they say they are looking into.
Yeah, I mean, IDF hasn't commented on a lot of things. I mean, pretty much this is irrefutable proof. Like, this is, you can't deny what's going on at this point, because for one, they've been attacking hospitals, they've been attacking things. Like, yeah, that's one, thing you can say somebody's hiding in there, like it was Hamas ran, or it's just like we're just there to like, just make sure like they don't spread. But you're attacking a whole refugee camp. Like, there's irrefutable proof like of like the crimes that are going over in the Middle East right now. This is corrupt. This is, a war crime on so many levels, like among other war crimes that's being committed against the Palestinian people. And it's just one of those things. It's to a point where it's just like the U.S. is continually trying to say like, oh, you have the right to defend yourself, but also you need to make sure you keep it within reason. Like, if you continue to keep doing this over and over again to like densely populated targets where you have like collateral damage in between, just trying to take out, maybe the few Hamas people may be at your target, then it's just one of those things where it's just like you can't keep using the excuse you're trying to defend yourself. You're basically you're committing like a war crime. And I'm just trying to go say, not to say the, genocide, the actual word, because I'm not trying to get demonetized again as much as possible. But it's just one of those things where it's just, we can't keep denying what we're seeing. Like, history is basically repeating itself.
Meanwhile, we also are getting this new IDF video showing bulldozers clearing paths where troops appear to be taking up positions. What more can you tell us about these pictures coming to us from the IDF?
Yeah, so new pictures, new videos being released by the IDF showing these bulldozers, tearing down pathways through Gaza as they continue their expanded ground operation. We've seen other videos being released showing soldiers and tanks in Gaza. It's still unclear just how far, how deep into Gaza they've made it. Early indications would appear to show that they might be at around 2 miles, but we're not sure. That hasn't been confirmed, and the IDF not saying, but they are also continuing to strike Gaza from the sky. Relentless airstrikes. There are hundreds of targets being hit as well. So that second phase of this war very much, in full swing. The first phase being attacking Gaza by land, by air, by sea. The second phase being this expanded ground operation.
Yeah, they're nothing short. They're about to have a full-blown invasion in the coming days. I know there's a lot of visitors, such as I think the PM of France and then the Chancellor of Germany said to visit, Israel to try and calm them down. But at this point, it's not looking good. Let's just be honest. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. And just continuing about the reports, IDF confirms it was a strike. The IDF keeps claiming that it was meant to, unalive one of the Hamas leaders that was a part of the October 7th attack on Israel. There has been no confirmation of that at all independently. And of course, IDF did not acknowledge the unalivings and, all that, but repeated a warning that the residents of Gaza should move south for safe. Like, it's almost a joke at this point trying to tell them to evacuate, because where can they go to be safe? Like, this was a refugee camp. Like, this was a refugee camp, and like, it's supposed to be the safest areas in the world, and now you're just bombing, indiscriminately. Like, let's really be for real, because you basically are unaliving babies, innocent babies, and civilians who have nothing to do with this, all in safe for just unaliving one guy. Like, that's something you do in a ground operation to be able to, take care of, like, you make sure you don't, just unalive, different people. And that's the thing a lot of people don't understand, well, IDF, you can't just risk their own people, the soldiers, just to get one guy. They need to, bomb. I'm like, no, you're in a densely populated area, a civilian population. The best way to do things is to like do a swap maneuver, go in, assess the situation, and find the guy and hunt down, and not just like bomb the whole place. Like, that's just literally common sense. That's the thing that makes me annoyed about people when they're talking about this conversation, because you're having people say that they're continuing trying to defend themselves when it's just like they have all the money in the world and support. Our tax dollars go over to Israel to be able to do all this. Like, this isn't defense. This is borderline, like they said, ethnic cleansing at the end of the day. And just to give you more history about this camp, basically it is in the North Gazan government of the Gaza Strip, basically kind of like set where, they said the attack happened. And this is a camp of a population of about 49,000 people. It had a population of 103,000 people in 2002. And this whole kind of like land, this whole land that makes up the camp, and basically this whole camp only stretches about 1.4 square kilometers. So basically this is one of the most densely populated areas in the world. Basically that is often seen as a target of like the conflicts between Israel and Gaza. Basically back in 2014, at least 15 Palestinians were unalived here due to Israeli shelling, as well as just October night, which was the beginning of this conflict. Basically, Israeli strike has unalived more than 50 people, including children, in this camp. And so this is a repeat offense. Like, I don't know what more to say about this. It's just definitely, it's sad, tragic. My heart goes out to all the victims. The death toll is definitely gonna rise more, but it's just one of those things where it's just like, what, we need to be more mindful about what's going on. And I'm gonna keep sending more updates about this situation, so please keep following the channel, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't even know how to end this whole video, because it's just like, this is not the type of video I want to make on Halloween. This is supposed to be a spooky season, be happy, somewhat festive, but now we're talking about, ethnic cleansing that's taking place in the world, and it makes, things, the little stuff that's going on in life over here is harder to really look at and enjoy and celebrate and all that. So that being said, stay warm, stay frosty, be safe out there, and peace out.